live your life
Live
to the fullest.
your life to the fullest. Honestly, I mean,
Most fun person in the room.
well, I like to have fun.
Vicky Vaughan Case, a powerhouse in the healthcare industry and a passionate advocate for women's leadership. Vicky's journey is nothing short of remarkable. The title of an amazing woman at Johnson & Johnson. After a successful career, Vicky is now making impact to inspire and empower other women. So welcome to the $1 Million Style Happy Hour. Please welcome to the show Vicky Vaughan Case, which is powerhouse in healthcare industry, and she will tell more about how it all started, how she got to Palm Beach, and she will definitely motivate you to do your own thing and do not care what other people think.
That's funny.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, we want to hear your story. How did you get to Palm Beach? You're such a bright personality, such a dopamine in everybody's life who just sees you for a moment. Like,
Yeah, you think?
yes, it's awesome. It's awesome.
So I've been coming to Palm Beach since I was literally like 2 years old. So my grandmother lived in Palm Beach, and she was a big influence in Palm Beach. She was very much out and about, always loved to go to the most beautiful restaurants, and like I've really grown up coming here, visiting her, and I just fell in love with her. And she was like, again, such a big influence in Palm Beach. And then I would just come all the time up until like I was a teenager. I'd bring all my friends. We would just always hang out in Palm Beach. And then later in life, when I got married, I actually lived in New Orleans. And unfortunately, during Hurricane Katrina, that led us to evacuate to Palm Beach. And so, yeah, and then lived in a few other places, but my heart was always in Palm Beach. And I said, I just ultimately want to come here and stay, because I lived in a lot of different states with my husband and my daughter, and just loved. There's just something about Palm Beach that's unique to any other place. I lived in California. I'm from New York City. And just love it here so much, because I feel like it's very New York, and I'm from New York, and there is this like a sort of a Hamptons feel, a very LA feel, but on a smaller scale, and I just think it's amazing. It's just a very, very, very special place. So that's how I ended up here, is really Hurricane Katrina, because my husband is from New Orleans, and I said, let's just evacuate there, and he fell in love with Palm Beach. So ultimately, that's how we.
So wonderful and exciting, because disaster brought all of us here. Many people came during COVID. Many people came during some kind of events, and we all are here, and it's completely different vibe now, because people from New York are here, people from California, all over the world, and they found this place that like a paradise corner with so much fashion, so much art, so much style, which is unique. And that leads me to the next question. Being in a corporate world, being in such a serious work environment, meeting serious people, how do you incorporate that Palm Beach style into your daily work life and style, and how does it impact your personal brand?
That's a great question, because most of my career have been in medical sales, and in many different states as well. But for the last about 12 to 13 years, I've been here in Palm Beach, and actually was also in medical sales in hospitals. So really conservative. I worked for the largest healthcare company in the world.
That sounds really serious and conservative.
It's very, very serious and conservative.
So how do you incorporate that crazy cool fashion into your style?
So I really just always have fun with fashion, always. Even when during COVID, you mentioned COVID, there was like, you had to wear scrubs. I had to transition to scrubs, and that was like the worst nightmare come true for me, just because I can't just put on a top and like scrub pants. So if that was difficult, but I even had like a flair with that, which I can get into in a little while. But that was pretty funny how I would transform
Leverage
myself
that.
from scrubs into like, hey, you could put a scarf on, or you could put on really fun accessories, or I would wear, at that point in time, like Crocs came out with like a heel and like fur, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wear that with my scrubs. And honestly, I brought fashion into an area that was so conservative that people actually had fun with, and were like, oh my gosh, I love this, or I love that, or where'd you get that? And I just made me realize like, oh, I'm using fashion as a conversation piece.
Yes.
And people were just like, there she comes again, like, what does she have on today?
Did it help you? Do you think it helped you with building
Absolutely.
relationships, like making it
Definitely.
more fun and not so serious, and look at
Yes.
you like more interesting person, not just like a
Like everyone
work
else.
meeting or
Right.
everyone else. And talking about Crocs with heels, I never saw these. Like
never seen
you,
it?
you mean those like Balenciaga ones, which were like on
Yes.
platform?
Yes.
I love them. They-
Yes.
They're cuckoo.
They're cuckoo. They're so crazy. And as a joke, I
That's
put them
fashion.
on. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am so going to rock these. And they became like my signature. So again, just,
Let me guess, like bubblegum pink? No.
I had a few pairs. I think I had blue and I think like a tan. And I
Oh, I never saw.
don't think
I
they
saw
came-
bubblegum pink. I was like,
I
oh my
would've-
god, that's
if they
like
had
interesting.
bubblegum pink, I totally would have bought them. Always tried to have fun with fashion, and honestly, looking like everyone else. Obviously, like as you could see, like this is like a Tuesday for me.
It doesn't matter for
I just
you.
use it as just a way to have fun, because everything in fashion should be fun, and I just don't take myself seriously at all. Like I just really want to bring like a fun vibe wherever I go.
I love your positive mindset, because it changes a lot. It changes everything when you communicate. That vibe is everything, I think.
Vibe is everything. Energy, vibe is everything. You could be absolutely stunningly gorgeous, walk into a room, and it just falls flat because you just don't.
It's stiff and
it's
and
stiff,
it's
and
like
maybe
neutral.
somebody's. My biggest thing too is resting. I'll say it, resting
Yeah,
bitchy face. Like, no, you can't have that. You can't have that energy. But I do think I don't know why some people just can't smile and warm up a room. And that to me is like the most important thing to do, is to just bring a little sparkle wherever you go. And that's really what I try to do all the time. And I again, my background is sales. My whole life I've been in sales most of my life. Even when I was like 13, I was doing some sort of selling for my dad's company. So I just always had that innate feeling that you have to just be open with people, positive, and just have a great vibe. So
did your fashion sense of fashion or style evolve during these days you worked, like for example in New York, and then you came here, or was it always this bright?
always.
Always.
And I was always ahead. Like if something came, like I would. This is so funny. Do you remember parachute pants? You probably don't even know what that is, but like those, they're actually back, but they were like a fun, crazy looking pant in like the 80s. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so gonna rock those. But everyone was like, what are those pants? Like I just like anything new, trendy,
Anything
avant-garde. I was
different.
like 100% in. Like I didn't have to wait for everybody to come out with and start wearing them. I
You
was
will
like,
be the
oh,
first one.
the first one, 100%. And I literally just don't care, and I just want to piece things together and rock them. And so I remember that all these kids would look at me like in high school, like, what does she have on? And I'm like, whatever. I think they're fun. And then of course, like then they became like really fun thing to wear. But I mean, I'm just using that as an example. But I definitely always loved just shopping and putting pieces together. And I grew up in New York, which is the best
You
place.
should have
to
been in
find-
fashion.
So I thought about that. I really did. And my aunt was a very famous clothes designer. And
Yes, tell
I
about
loved-
her.
Yeah, so she is actually my mom's aunt, and Her name was Betty Hansen. She worked in the Anne Klein. She worked that era with Calvin Klein, Anne Klein, like that whole era. And she was amazing. I still have her pieces. I still wear them all the time. They're just classics. They're beautiful. And she just had such a flair as well. And just always looked up to her like, oh my gosh, she's just so talented. So and my mom too, like my mom was like wearing leg warmers before leg warmers were a thing. Like she would wear these like fun, huge coats. And I was just always around people that really set trends or didn't care and just were going to have fun. So I guess that's where, and that, like I said, and my grandmother from Palm Beach, she was very influential in my life. And she was, I call my dad Mr. Palm Beach. He lives here. I call him Mr. Palm Beach. He works at the Flagler Museum. He's 87. He's amazing with his style, very dapper. And his mom, who is the reason I'm here, since I'm 2 years old, she would just shop on Worth Avenue. She would have her shoppers. She would go to St. John's. And I just always like looked up to these powerful women and just said, oh my gosh, like I love how they're just taking fashion so seriously. And when I moved to Palm Beach permanently, and my daughter was enrolled in a nice private school here, and I would see all these women just dressing exactly alike, like the whole
Lily Pulitzer.
Very Lily Pulitzer. And again, I think that looks amazing on people, and it's a very clean, beautiful look, and I love it. And I have friends that just look so good in it. It just looks bad on me. I don't know why. I just don't like it on me. But I was like, okay, well, I saw that dress like 4 times already today. Like
that's the thing. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it was very much like everybody had the same.
It's not as unique. Yeah,
look.
I did not know who is she. Coming here to Palm Beach, I learned the story. I read the books about Palm Beach. I just fell in love. Like it's like a movie. It's like living in a movie.
Yes.
And
I love it. And
I
love
think, it's amazing.
To like go into a house that has that influence, I think it's so clean and so beautiful and so the vibrance.
And
of
I learned about
colors.
the history. There's like so much history in it, so much Palm Beach in it, and the whole vibe is that, and all these neon colors. But I think Palm Beach has so much potential to be like even fashion mecca, or Cannes Festival event place or something like that, which draws attention of all fashionistas from all over the world. Not only, of course, Lily Pulitzer. It's like something was in the past and we cherish that and we respect that.
Yes.
But bringing new blood with all these vibes and cultures and making it so much more vibrant, it's amazing. And
I remember when I first moved here, I was told that you can't wear black. Like, don't wear black if you're going out, like on the island. Like, it's like taboo. Like, you will not get a table at a restaurant. They'll know that you're from the, not Palm Beach if you wear black. And I was like, that is the stupidest thing in the world, because I'm obsessed with black. I wear black all the time. And I just was like, yeah, whatever. And so I just did whatever I wanted. But I remember people like telling me, this is how you're supposed to look in Palm Beach. And I was like, well, I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be my own person. And I really, I found some really, really beautiful stores. Like, I love Alice and Olivia here.
I love too,
Yeah, I really like that. Lifestyle So Chic. I don't know if that's on the island too. Your store is amazing.
Thank you.
We are in this most beautiful store with the most beautiful clothes. So like, this would be some place that I would just go to town in. But yeah, it was definitely.
I was still wearing black. I have been told like, don't wear black, but my style is my style. I will not change it as well.
Right.
So I was like sitting in that restaurant, and everybody else wears Pulitzer and pink and white, and I was like sitting there, and everybody were talking to me in Russian, like coming here, like approaching me and speaking only Russian,
Really?
like.
Oh, 'cause
like,
they thought
but
that you-
that's the thing about black color, or just like it's not
Right.
Palm Beach, obviously. But to me, saying not to do something is saying I will do it and take pictures.
Yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it like big time. I'm gonna wear head to toe
Yes,
black, not just a
yes.
black top. I'm gonna wear head to toe
That's
black.
my mindset. Of course,
Yeah.
I appreciate everything, what's the colors, everything, but I cannot change myself.
Right.
So,
Honestly, I know people, Kim Kardashian's look, a lot of people say like they don't like her style. I actually like the monochromatic, and that she's like in a onesie, like that one
Yep.
thing that I have them in every color. I love them, and
Yeah.
I'm it's just easy. And then you could pair
You
it with
cannot
a million.
If you like something, you
Yeah.
like something. That's it.
Right.
So it's hard to change yourself. So about the fashion influences, do you have icons in fashion you look up to, or they maybe made an influence on your style or your mindset, or you don't look anywhere?
Oh, of course. I mean, so when I was growing up, the models were the influencers. So like Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista, Naomi Campbell, all of them. Like they were just so beautiful. So I would just stare we didn't have social media then. So like Vogue and Elle and all the beautiful magazines, and I would just stare at them all the time and try to recreate as best I could. I mean, and sometimes it would just be like a white t-shirt with jeans or like a white, just like button down, just so effortlessly beautiful. Like they influenced me a lot because that was my generation. It's just those supermodels. But honestly, I have friends here that I admire so much. I mean, I'm friends with a girl named Margaret Luce. Hey, Margaret. She's a model in that era too, and she's a good friend of mine. And like I love to see her fashion style. I have one of my other really good friends, Kristen Kaplan. I was in her closet all day today because I'm just obsessed with, it's like Sex in the City closet. And I'm always like, I look to her for some fashion. Like she's like a fashion icon. So I have girlfriends too that I admire so much, and I'll look to them, and we just have so much fun with it all. So although, I mean, I do like social media, and I do follow some really great people like Hannah from Feed My Gems, which is what this is all from.
It's amazing.
Her dopamine dressing. I mean,
Yep.
when I found her, I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to reach out to her personally and just be like, please come to Palm Beach. Like I love everything she stands for. It's positivity. Like I said, dopamine dressing, don't care. She puts crazy things together like this. Like I just love this.
I have
It
to
makes
tell
me
you,
so
when I
happy.
was 9 years old, I had a beautiful Barbie, like such a beautiful Barbie. I was like everywhere with her. And she had this pink top on it with the stars which shine at night or something like that. So I just saw you. Oh my God, that's my dream.
Well, Barbie is
That's
my
my
biggest
dream.
influence. So Barbie is my favorite. I am obsessed with all things Barbie. I wish I still had the Barbie dream house, like the actual, like the plastic one but what I did is I sort of created my Barbie dream house in my house, like my own house looks like Barbie's dream house.
But it suits Palm Beach so well.
I love Barbie.
I think
yes.
nothing else
I know.
suits that style. It's just like
Right?
white, pink,
Yes.
something
Smiley,
bright. Yep.
happy. Like Barbie equals happiness to me. And so she is like the
Amazing.
icon. And I love Paris. Honestly, I love Paris Hilton.
I just wanted to tell you that your style reminds me of Paris Hilton's
my
style,
gosh, well,
and she's also
mic
now
drop.
entrepreneur.
So on Christmas last year, she followed me on TikTok. I was like, that's it. I'm done. Like this, I don't need anything for Christmas. Paris Hilton follows me on TikTok, and I was new to TikTok, but I went and bought her pots and pans and her knives and all this, and I just posted about it, and then she started following me, and I almost fainted. I was like, Paris Hilton is following me? Like I don't even have followers yet because I just started on TikTok. So I love Paris Hilton. I want to be her best friend. Paris, if you ever see this, please be my friend. You're amazing. She's such a good mom. Her house is beautiful, her sense of style. And one thing that if I were to do have a whole different career, it would be a DJ. So my whole life, I'm obsessed with music, and I've said I would love, love, love to be a DJ but then DJ,
Why not?
healthcare.
Why not? Why not?
Right?
See, so many possibilities, opportunities.
So many possibilities.
So yes, it's such an inspiration just for people who work their 9 to 5, or even girls wanting to do something, thinking, oh no, if I do this, I cannot do that. So see, here is a perfect example that you can do everything what comes to your mind, manifest it, and it's done. Like, it's happening.
Right.
So it's easy as that. Just think about it.
Absolutely. And I'm all into manifesting. So I decided to leave corporate America. And
How did you decide? Like, was it hard for you to decide, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm starting something else? How was this decision for you? Was it hard or was it easy?
it's like a relationship, and it's just, it's over.
Yes.
And you just don't really, you just know it's over. That's all I could say. It's like a relationship that has run its course, and that's pretty much what happened. But I've always wanted to start my own business, and I've always wanted to do other things. So it just was the right time. It's just timing is everything, pretty much.
How did you start your own business? Like, how did you start? What did you start from?
Because of healthcare and my experiences with healthcare, I've just noticed there's such gaps that really need to be addressed. So I'm actually not leaving like the space of healthcare. I'm going to be staying in it. But on a serious note, really what I want to do is really help patients. So it's going to be where I've seen gaps throughout all these years where I could be of help to patients, because that's basically what my personal brand really is.
Depression thing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's an epidemic in our country is mental health. So I was very involved in my company with mental health, and I'm just such an advocate for patients who have mental health issues, and it seems like it wasn't talked about years and years ago. So now it's really at the forefront, and it's such a huge issue. And unfortunately, like, I don't even want to get into too much of it, but like, I've known people who've committed suicide, and it's just sad. Not just like one or two, but I really, there's so much help out there. There's so many resources. There's so many ways to get help, and it breaks my heart, and I see it with the younger generation with this. And I do like social media. I always say I get my news from TikTok, but seriously, like, it's not good for these kids for mental health, because they're comparing themselves to fakeness all day long. This person doesn't look like this. This person's not on that trip. They probably superimpose some of this stuff to make it look perfect, and life's not perfect. And use those resources, talk to a friend, talk to a teacher, talk to somebody, talk to a coworker. There is help out there, and it's just an epidemic that it's really, really scary. And it's luckily people are talking about it now, and they didn't years ago. But still, why is it still, happening that people are so depressed, and they're taking their lives, or they're missing out on so much work, and then they're getting fired, or they're just not being able to go out with their friends and socialize because they're just in this black hole.
Because the black hole is like phones and just like that fake life on TikTok, Instagram. So the digital presence, it's important, but it can take away your life, as you said. Like,
right.
it's even.
And then obviously there's things going on in your brain. There's not processing accurately.
Of course.
But there's so many great medication out there right now to help. But you have to be able to talk to your doctor, talk to just talk to anybody, even if it's a school nurse. Like, there's so many people that want to help, and it's not their fault. Depression, bipolar, being manic, it could absolutely rob you of so many moments in your life if you don't talk about it with somebody. And I don't think that there probably is still a taboo, but I love that people are actually recognizing it more and talking about it more
And being more
there's
real on
zero
social media as well.
stigma.
Yeah.
There's no stigma. If you're not right, please talk to somebody. But yeah, the social media is definitely not helping, especially if you're, so think about it. So you're depressed, you're home. What are you going to do? You're going to take that phone, you're going to start scrolling, and you're going to see things, and everyone
that
looks
perfect life.
And it's all fake. It's all fake. Like I post things. I'm not trying to be fake. I'm just posting whatever I'm doing. And some people say, oh my gosh, like your life, oh, it looks like so much fun. Okay, it is fun, but I'm not doing it to portray anything that's not authentic. But still, I'm like, no, seriously, I have terrible days too. We all have.
So
days.
building your brand, your advice would be more real and authentic.
Oh my gosh,
Go live,
100%.
go show yourself as you
Yes.
are, right?
Yes.
Because
I'm not going to spend 10 minutes trying to make a picture look better than it is. Who cares? Like, you all know what I look like. It doesn't matter. I don't even know how to edit. I don't know how those apps, like whatever. But I know these kids, it will take them like a day to get the perfect picture. And like, really? They see you in class. They know you don't look like that, or they see you at work. Like, who are you kidding right now? Like, just to get more followers, and you identify with how many followers. Like, mental illness is a very, very big thing that is so. It's just breaks my heart because there's so much help out there, and you just have to be able to talk to anybody. And don't ever feel like you're alone, and don't feel like you're embarrassed. And if you're having a bad day, just true mental illness, yeah, you can't do it alone. And there's so much, so it's so sad. And it's so sad for those kids, because I see it with even my daughter's friends, and they're just all it's that phone.
That phone. That evil phone.
Yeah. I mean, it's great.
Well, I'm starting to think it's not.
I mean, it's great because I can call someone and I can text somebody. And
yeah, but before that, we called.
Yeah.
I had I remember still my first Nokia, or the flip phones, or it was enough.
But the bullying and all that stuff that occurs on that phone is just. It absolutely breaks my heart. It's so easy. It's so easy to comment to some, like, you look fat or you don't look great in that post. Like, the comments, because it's going out to the world and anyone can say anything. But everyone knows this. We've probably exhausted talking about that in our society, because we all know the good aspects of social media and the bad aspects of social media. But if you're not mentally tough, you are going to have a rough time with it, because if you don't feel good about yourself, it's a killer. And I don't mean a killer like a real killer, but it can definitely ruin your day, especially if you're, for example, out with your parents having dinner, or even an adult. You're out with your friends, you're having cocktails, and you see your other friends out to dinner, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't get invited. Oh my gosh. And it ruins your whole night. The whole night's ruined now because you're not present in what you're doing. You're now thinking, well, how come I wasn't invited with all of them? And it just, before, you didn't know what all of your friends were. You didn't know if there was a party you weren't invited to. That's the worst. And it makes you so sad. And you're like, you will spend the whole night now obsessing over that than enjoying yourself. So that's the bad part of it. So
how do you work with your emotions when you sometimes have those negative emotions? Like, sometimes you have a bad day, or something doesn't work like as you planned it. So how do you unwind yourself? How do you make it better? Just wearing heels, perfume,
yeah, right?
and
Perfume,
sunglasses,
and
or
heels.
something
but sometimes
else.
that doesn't cut it. So I do think that, and going to the gym, or going for a nice walk, or maybe calling a family member a cousin who you haven't talked to in a while, somebody who cares about you. But really, I think exercise is a huge component to it, and just leaving those thoughts and going into like a Pilates class, or like trying to just, like I said, go to the beach. Movement is key. Movement is everything. Even as simple as, I know this is going to sound crazy, but taking off your shoes and going on in the grass with bare feet, like that changes the energy.
That grounding and, and that
The
energy.
grounding. And what I do, and my favorite thing to do, is to blast music. Like, music is such a healer. So for me, I will just get in the car, put on Guns N' Roses, or like even coming down here, I was listening to like old Fleetwood Mac really high.
I love it.
I love all that. Like, I think music is, for me, the number, like that. I just remember living in the city, not wanting to go out, and putting on George Michael, jamming out to him. And I was like, oh my gosh, now I totally want to go out tonight. Like, it just changes your
Hyping
vibe.
yourself up.
Hyping yourself up. Yeah. But, definitely movement is really, really key. I mean, we kid around, say, you know, shopping is, you know, but then you get those bills and you don't want those bills. That's a downer, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to do retail shopping. And then, like, you know, 30 days from then you get the stupid bill and you're like, oh, now I'm like, how am I going to pay for all this stuff? So I don't really, believe it or not, I don't do that. I really don't do oh, I'm having a bad day, I'm going to go shopping. I don't. Well, Home Goods, I can lose myself in Home Goods. I actually really like Home Goods. I'm a regular at Home Goods. I'll go buy like some candles. So I think like candle smell is huge for me. Music is huge for me. And then
all the senses.
Yes, 100%. And knowing like this day sucks. So, and I've had, oh my gosh, I've definitely had, you know, those for sure. But literally, I'm going to start to come here because this vibe in here is, it's like a great, it's a great vibe. So, you know, just, yeah. So everyone knows about social media. I'm not saying anything that people don't know. It's, you take the good with the bad, but. Yeah.
Yep. It's important in your building your brand. You have to be out there and have to be more authentic.
That's the key. Being authentic. You have to be authentic. People will spot that. Like I always say, like that person's not comfortable in their own skin. I see it in 2 seconds. I say it all the time. Not comfortable in their own skin. So I can't reason with somebody who's not comfortable in their own skin. It's just too exhausting. So there you go. I'm just not going to waste my time with somebody like that.
So you're a president of HBA. Another way of socializing and inspiring women for you is a social circle.
Yes. So my friend, one of my best friends in the world, Kim, and I worked together. And we were such a good team working together. And we always used to say, like, we wish that there was a group of women that we could get together that would network and also collaborate, because there's lots of people in different industries that can benefit from getting together and meeting one another. And so we wanted to bring a platform together where women, like quarterly, ideally I'd love it to be like every month, but I don't know if that's a tall order, but it's called the Social Circle, and it's in Palm Beach, and anybody can join and come to events. Alice and Olivia just hosted us a few weeks ago, and it was a shopping event. And and it's not just a shopping event. It's people getting out of their house, getting dressed, coming to meet fabulous women, and you just come together, build your brand, meet one another, give out business cards, and we're looking to grow. And if anyone wants to reach out to find out how to join the Social Circle, they can.
Awesome.
My Instagram is Vicky Case 123. They could DM me on Instagram, and it's just a great platform. And I really saw a need for women to like get together and be heard. We have guest speakers. We're going to have a lot of exciting things in 2025, and I'm excited about it. It's just, again, I'm the queen of the networking and queen of helping people build their businesses. And there are so many amazing women in Palm Beach. And it's an honor to meet these women and to be able to have a place that they can come to.
Having that very long relationship with the healthcare industry, do you think you have something to bring what's new, which was not implemented before?
So I'm going to try. I'm definitely going to try. My mother passed away during COVID.
I'm so sorry.
From a cardiac event. And then my dad recently had a cardiac event and was... it was a very, very touch and go for about a month, but he's amazing now. So I have this passion for patients who have issues with they're really just like, I just did the American Heart Association walk. So like for me, the number one killer is heart disease. So I really do want to help patients when they're leaving either the hospital, the office, maybe a skilled nursing facility, just make the process of going home a more quality experience. So that's really what I'm doing. But there's also other things involved in that. But
That
basically, at the
extended
end of the
care.
day, it's for our loved ones when they do come home to feel that they are being well taken care of. And so that's where I will come in, and
That's amazing.
in different ways. But basically, that is the deal with that. But I also work. I also do other things as well. So I have passion projects, which would be my podcast that I'm not. I need this whole setup, so I have to have you come over, and this is beautiful. If you can't see from here, but it's gorgeous. So I do want to do that, and I also work with an artist called Grippa, and she's a local artist here. She's a music artist. She's amazing. You can follow her. It's the Grippa. That's her name, The Grippa. She's on Spotify. She's on all the different platforms. She's amazing. And I work with her as well on different projects, trying to get her to be known within the community. She's amazing.
Like producer
No,
for her?
like just marketing probably.
Marketing.
But she went to local school here. She is been traveling all over the country. She's amazing. I love her music so much, and I've known her since she was 2 years old. So that's like a passion project for me. So I also do that, and we love to, like shopping together or doing things for her brand too. I think is something that I love to do because that's a whole different escape from the heaviness of healthcare. And then I have like that part too. And then there's other companies that I definitely, help with people with their brands.
When you have those side projects, it's one leads to another. And I think the networking is very important. Do you do a lot of networking with women, or do you attend those inspirational events for women? Tell more about that.
Actually, of the Palm Beach Healthcare Businesswomen's Association. So everything it's so important for me is the networking aspect of what I do. Networking is the key to success. I tell my daughter all the time, she goes to University of Miami, become friends with your professors. Definitely try to connect as best you can with anybody on that campus that you think might be.
That's amazing advice. See, take notes.
You have to network. Like if you were to ask somebody about me through my career or personally and professionally, they would say I'm a master networker. My mother was also in sales. My dad was in sales. I always knew the value of networking because you never know who you're going to meet, what value they might be able to bring, how you might be able to collaborate together. I am just all about networking. And for this future, for the future generation coming up, like even with your teachers in high school, like you just be networking all the time. Be friends with everybody. You never know who you're going to need in life. Like I remember when I first started working in the healthcare company I was working for, they said, look around. And I was so young. I was just out of college. They said, look around because somebody in this room may be the CEO of the company. And I always remembered that because you never know who somebody is and how important they may be for you at some point in time. So the Healthcare Businesswomen's Association is for women. It's also for men. And we come together and we network. So we do these, like next week, we're doing a holiday party. People just come together from all different healthcare. You could be in aesthetics. You could be a doctor. You could be even a lawyer in healthcare. You could anything in healthcare. And we all come together. And this is a global organization.
And you're president of the organization.
I'm president of that one. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Amazing.
And I love it so much because I've met the most wonderful people. And I love watching people connect. And there's definitely, I've known some people who actually have gotten jobs from a meeting it's called HBA, at HBA. And they're like, oh, like I met this person at HBA. It's a wonderful forum for women. So, and again, men can also join too. But it's amazing. So I love that. So networking though is absolutely critical to anybody's success. You cannot work alone. You can't just, and especially for sales, like people in sales, we're by ourselves all day long.
So it's not possible to do remote jobs and think about um, getting so high in life with just sitting at home and doing remote jobs. You have to get out, right?
You have to get out.
Yes.
You have to get.
That's a good advice.
I literally have friends that I tell that might not even have a job. And I said, just go outside, get in your car, go somewhere, talk to somebody. I have met people just on the street. I mean, just, you never know. But you also have to be open to it and not insecure and not shy. And I'm none of those things. So you just have to just start talking to people. But nothing's going to happen at home.
That's
Nothing
amazing
at
advice.
all is going to, even during COVID when we're supposed to stay home, I was obviously practice safe and, it wasn't negligent at all. I did stay home when I had to, but when I was able to, be out, go back to work, some people didn't. They didn't
But
want
in
to go
Florida,
back.
it was different. It was way more
Yeah,
easy
thank God
than
for Florida.
New
I
York
know.
or some different places.
But still, people stayed home because they were scared, and I
Yeah.
totally understand that. But if I was trying to, I wanted to. My dopamine is the energy that I get from other people. So for me to stay home and not connect with other people except for my husband and my daughter, which was great for a little while, but I was like, I have got to get out and just.
I also believe that energy and movement is life.
Yes.
And when you sit at home, you're just slowly dying and waiting for your
Yeah.
hour.
100%. No, I
So-
can't do it. I cannot do that. I
Yeah,
can't.
you have
Even-
to. You have given that time here. Go out and do something, right?
Yes. And you
That's
never,
amazing.
you absolutely never know where the days, every single morning I wake up, I have done this for years. What crazy thing is going to happen to me today? It's the
And
first thing
you're
that I say.
expecting already something crazy happening.
And my friends always laugh because I always call them and say, "You're never going to believe this one." They're like, "Oh God, what happened today?" But it's just all these things happen, and they're so funny, and
You
it's just
sounds funniest and like not funniest, but most fun person in the room.
well, I like to have fun. I actually,
awesome.
one of my favorite things that I love to do is carpool karaoke. So I love to pick up a friend if it's their birthday or a group of friends, and we go and I have a microphone like carpool karaoke. We drive around, blast music. I have microphones. I decorate my car, and we just go around and just have the best time ever. So like, who does that? But
That's amazing
I
advice. See, take notes how to live your life
live
to the fullest.
your life to the fullest. Honestly, I mean, it's a terrible thing to say, but I feel like I see it in the future of like, because unfortunately being in healthcare, you do see what happens at any age to people, and I'm like, gosh, did they live life to the fullest? So my thing is 100% always live life.
I
to the
totally
fullest.
believe that maybe changed that. That was what changed your mindset to appreciate every second
Yes.
you live. Because what happened to me as well when I like went to hospice together with my grandmother. I spent there a week like nonstop 24/7, and I saw all those people. And then I said, what am I doing? Like, time is ticking.
Yeah.
I have so much things to do. I have so many places to be, so many people to meet. I have to do so much, and I cannot afford to sit and do nothing. That was the crucial moment for me. So I think like if you were in a healthcare and you have seen people like just like missing out because of the failing health system or failing health, and when healthy people don't appreciate what they have
Exactly.
and just waste it, it's so painful.
It's painful.
Yeah.
It's painful for me to watch when people are not doing well emotionally because they're in a bad situation, whether with a boyfriend or
Yes.
a husband or a toxic relationship with a friend, a toxic relationship at work. Every single day that goes by is a day lost. Like,
yeah.
I just don't understand that mentality. Of course, I'm going to have bad days. Everybody does. But I have said this, if I could put on my Bond perfume, put on high heels and sunglasses and just go out of the house, it could change. It's all about changing the energy. So even when I'm having a bad day, I'll do those like, where's my perfume and where's my shoes and I'm just going to change the energy because I can't stand it when I'm not being productive. So that's another thing about fashion is that it really can change just by changing your shirt or changing your shoes or your pants, whatever. It changes the energy, completely changes the energy of that moment.
And do you believe that you have to have those staple fashion or iconic elements to your style, like must have Chanel bag or something which everybody does to gain that status in society? Or do you believe the $1 million style can be achieved for $5, which is your method?
A dollar,
$1 for free.
Cents. No, seriously, I really, for as much as I love fashion, I don't like looking like everybody else. So for me to walk at this point in my life, to like walk into Chanel and be like, oh, I'll take that black bag or that white bag. By the way, I totally love Chanel. I'm not just using that as an example. I know because other people will have that bag. So it's really not something that I think that you absolutely need a lot of money to do any of this. You don't. You could go to Rainbow. There's a place called Shoe Hall in West Palm. It's my little favorite place that I don't know if people even know about it. Google it, Shoe Hall. They have the most fun, inexpensive things, accessories, shoes. You could pair that with a beautiful dress and you look like $1 million. Like you could go
the
to
key is mixing in your style,
mixing it. Absolutely.
Something maybe expensive, something more statement piece, and then go something which matches, right?
Yes, head to toe designer is just not my. It's just not my thing. It's just not. I would rather just be like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But you really, really, really do not need a lot of money for any of it, because if you have an eye for it, and I could really walk into any store. I mean, up and down where we live in Palm Beach, there's a lot of these stores up and down this street that are consignment.
Yep.
There's one
vintage. There's one wonderful
yes.
like vintage all sequin dresses from 60s, even some statement pieces. And sometimes people just say, or women just say, I cannot afford to dress that well, but it doesn't. It's not the key.
No,
So
no.
you just have to
and you can't
combine.
And don't try to keep up. Don't be like, oh, I have to have that bag because, that's going to be a status piece. Like, oh, if I walk in with this bag, people are going to think that I, have a lot of money or something like that. Like, it's so stupid. I just don't buy into any of that.
Sometimes maybe people think that you are waster of money if it's like all in brands and they don't take you seriously as well. So that's another thing. Which
and you could do many things. Like, I have a friend that has a beautiful blazer, but then puts different beautiful buttons on it and just makes it a little bit nicer. And that was, from Amazon.
Add that individuality to it and the spark. Yep.
And I love scarves. I think scarves can add a lot. My mom was huge into scarves, and I have a lot of them now, and they're just so beautiful. And you could pair that with anything and make it look fabulous, or even put it on a purse and make the purse look, pop.
Yeah, right now those purses which are like with even toys on them hanging, that trend. Which trend is your favorite right now? Do you know, like, can you think about trends which you like or which you don't like? Like leopard or the animal prints are like...
Yes, I love that.
That started, but it's like already too much, I think. So I don't know.
I know.
What's your opinion about...
Once I see it everywhere, then I'm not really
For
into
me,
it.
it's like, stop.
Yes.
That's it.
If I see it everywhere, then I'm not into it. No. So, I mean, I would say a trend right now is, there's really nothing that I see that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to follow that trend, because I don't follow trends. I just have
You're
fun.
a trendsetter.
If
That's
I
why.
see something, I'll just say that's
You're
fun
setting
and that's
trends.
amazing. But it's hard for me to walk into some of these like
Zara?
People love Zara, and I know. How do you say it, by the way? My friends make fun of me. I say Zara.
I said Zara.
Okay, Zara, right? Okay. Sometimes I'll say Zara, and they're like, no, it's Zara. I love their clothes on other people. It just doesn't fit me. So that's the other thing, too. You have to know what fits. It's just boxy on me, and it doesn't work well on me. So no, but I love it. I think that it's that Forever 21, H&M, like they're awesome stores for little bits and pieces. I love all those stores. I love every store. Literally, Target, I will find amazing something at Target.
That's a mindset. That's $1 million style mindset. It's fashion on style or like iconic style on every budget. How do you overcome these struggles of
women
being
cattiness
yes, and judgmental and
had that my entire life. Like I remember vividly being in elementary school and feeling that judgmental, like catty, not nice girl vibe. I just was raised in a family that always just said, like, just be yourself. Like, I'm never trying to compete with anybody. I don't care. Like, you do you, I'll do me, and everything will be fine. Like, I don't have to, and you don't. I mean, I have one thing that I'm so fortunate with is my friendships with my girls. Like I have a lot of friends and I appreciate and cherish and value friendship. And there's girls and then there's not. And I definitely am a girl's girl. Like I really love and get so much I have such admiration for my friends. I learn from each and every one of them that they may be very different, but each of them provides some value to me. And I know throughout my life that there has been
girl energy and woman energy.
There's nothing
so much
better.
Needed sometimes.
So much. And we're sometimes our own worst enemies. Like the world is hard enough as it is. And like we need an army of women to surround us and be our armor.
That's a wonderful term, army of women. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely need our friends, and I just can't relate to somebody who doesn't have a lot of friends. Even you only need two, really. I tell my daughter all the time, you really just need a few, but I like to have a lot because I love to have parties and I love to be around a lot of people. That's just my personality, but some people like just a few, and that's great. But cherish those friendships and stick up for your friends. So like, for example, if somebody's talking poorly about somebody or saying like, why does she wear that? Or why is she like this? Or she's a lot. You always have to stand up for your friends. And I tell my daughter that all the time. Don't just sit there and be like, oh, no, stand up for your friends. You have to be the voice when you're not in the room. And I think that is really, really important. And it's gotten me through some times in my life that I need my friends sometimes more than other times, but thank God I have them. And really the judgmental people, I can spot it in 2 seconds. And if you have a bad energy or a bad vibe, like I'm just not going to deal. Like it's just like
just avoiding.
Just avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
because
your
always,
way.
And that's like people hurt others. Go knock yourself out. Go be judgy but not in my little universe. So I really do try to create an environment with my friends that we have a great time. And we do parties, we do lunches, we do dinners, we celebrate each other's birthdays, we do carpool karaoke, we go shopping. And I literally could have fun with my friends just at Publix. Like we just drive around sometimes and just have a good time, So that's really important because you don't need to do you don't have to have this huge agenda of, oh, we're going to go to a gala or we're going to do this or we're going to do that. Literally, it could
without planning, right?
Picking up a friend and just going for ice cream and just laughing the whole time about something so stupid. So
it's amazing. It sounds so fun. You sound so fun in life.
Gosh, I do like to have. I do. That is my mantra. Is definitely to have fun.
I wanted to ask you.
And this is so fun. And being in this place, this design center, and this vibe. I wish everyone here could see this beautiful. You have to come shop here.
So now I see why did you get the award of Amazing Woman?
Oh, yes.
In Johnson's & Johnson's, because you're just everything. Most fun person in the room, for sure. So tell me about the Johnson & Johnson time. Like you were a leader, or
I worked there for definitely worked there for a very long time. I loved all the people I met. I'll be forever grateful to that company. They were my family for many, many, many years, and I got very involved. And you asked me about advice too for the for the future generation or kids that are coming up the ranks. Get involved in everything. Literally get network. Not only network, just really get involved. And that's what I did at Johnson & Johnson. I got involved with a lot of different organizations, women leadership. I could go on and on, but I will spare everybody the details. But I got involved, and I think that's really an important thing to do. I just didn't go to work and I just went home and called it a day. I was like,
see, that's the key, and that's the recipe for success, to be on top of all events and just to go out there. That's amazing.
And also, not only but also within the community. Like, if there's something that's important to me within the community, I'm in. Like, I am here to definitely help in any way that I can. If there's a cause that I work a lot with some organizations, and I will definitely donate my time to anything that I find that's needed or important. And I loved every second that I had at Johnson & Johnson. But again, it's just onward and upward. Like, it's, I did what I can do there. I think I made a difference, and now it's over. And I'm going to start taking everything that I learned there and going to parlay it into my own business. So I'm forever grateful, and I had the best time. I lived in many different states, had different roles, and it was the greatest of times. But like everything else, it's just a new chapter. So it's the end of an era and the beginning of a new one.
And in the new one, where do you see yourself in next 5 years?
Oh gosh, let's see. Well, hopefully,
after 5 years, let's rewatch it.
Yeah,
and see.
Hopefully, I'll be able to wear these shoes. These are hilarious.
Oh my God, they're awesome.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't shop at Akira, I wanted to give a shout out to Akira. It's in Miami and it's online. It's the most fun store ever. Like,
it looks so much fun.
Akira is amazing. But in 5 years, I hope that I've made a difference in people's lives in terms of, just in terms of making them understand the importance of having fun in their life. And also, if I can help, which I hope to do, patients have a better experience in healthcare where they feel valued, they feel like someone paid them attention that they needed, provided care that they needed, and I somehow made a difference in a patient's life that would be beneficial to them in a way that just the outcome was amazing. Because a lot can happen as people age, and I am here to be an advocate for those patients because sometimes they're forgotten.
You're like a light worker.
No, I don't know about that, but I really do. I just saw my own parents and what they went through, and I want to make a difference, and I just want everybody to feel like they're
that inspired you to fight for a better future.
Yes.
That's amazing and so 100%. Beautiful.
So that's where if I could just make a difference in anyone's life, that's all that I need. But and also to see my daughter graduate from University of Miami, and I want to set her up for success. So that's my main focus too. It's like my beautiful daughter and making sure that she's taken care of, that she's, in other words, she's networked, she's collaborated, she's taken the advice that I've given her, and that she's
everything and you leave that legacy to her.
And that she's successful in her own right, which I know that she will be because she's
awesome.
A badass.
Like you are.
Well, I think she's better than I'll ever be, but she's pretty incredible.
Awesome. So what is your definition of success?
My definition of success is just pure happiness. That's it. Success is not monetary for me at all. There's always, people want to put a number on success. And for me, it's just honestly waking up and just knowing how lucky I am just to be my own skin.
Success is to appreciate life, right?
Just appreciate life. I mean, it's so fragile. I don't know why people don't realize it. Like, it's coming to I'm so shocked when something happens to somebody who's like,
I think that's the key. They haven't experienced that negative shock that it
Right.
hadn't happened to them, and
Yes.
that's why they waste their lives and do everything to kill themselves, like with unhealthy lifestyle, food, relationships,
Right.
everything that damages their quality of life. They just don't appreciate because nothing ever happened to them, and then they're like, why not? But
And then
actually
they don't have the
it's
tools to even
No.
deal with it when it comes their way.
right.
Yeah, I don't get. I'm just have such a. I don't know. It's just a very keen awareness of the end. Isn't that terrible? It's
That's
so
terrible.
sad to say, but I really do believe like we're just here for such a short amount of time, and let's have a good time while we're here and make a difference. Be a good person. Be a good friend, be a good wife, be a good mom. Just try your hardest just to be happy and figure out what that is.
Like someone just said, we have like 40 summers max.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, only 40 summers?
Yes. That's even more than I'll probably have. So that's great. I know. I literally think of that all the time. And it's so morbid. And I tell my friends that all the time. They're like, oh my gosh, that's so depressing. I'm like, but it's the reality. So it just figure
thinking
it out.
about it differently, that it's such a limited time,
Yes.
pushes you to do something more and have fun, and your ultimate inspiration to enjoy life fully, like living as you are, not looking to anybody else, carrying your own style and grace, and inspiring people and helping them and motivating them to do the same. So thank you so much
Oh my
for
gosh,
coming
thank
and
you for having
inspiring
me.
our
And I don't wanna
audience.
leave. And by the way, the smell in here is like, I'm all into fragrance and whatever's going on in here. I don't want to leave.
It's those candles. They're
everyone
all
should
over
come
the
shop
place.
here. Do you promote
Thank you.
say where you like where this is?
Yeah, of course. We're in Million Dollar Style studio, which is at Katana House Showroom. And our studio is set up here, and everybody is welcome to see us.
Yeah, you have to come here. It is the
Thank
best
you.
energy. It smells delicious. You're a great stylist. All the accessories, the jewelry, the clothes, and the
Thank
design
you.
center. And now we know I can DJ. Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be here all the time.
And we have new DJ right now.
Hello, this is great.
Awesome. Thank you
so much.
so
This was so
much.
fun. Thank
It
you
was
for having
such a
me.
girly talk, and not only girly, it was so inspiring and so motivational. So I hope many people just take notes that time is running out, and we have to
If
have
you
to
walk away
have
with
fun
nothing, time is running
and
out.
live and inspire others.
Live your life. Live your life. Please live your life. Don't care what anyone else thinks. Just do you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you on the next one.